Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 157, attempt 15 to try to film this today. And this might not even be the one that ends up going live. Who knows at this point? I thought it was being good, trying to get everything done. It's 11 a.m. Every time I try to, my phone rings. So Troy's on his way home for lunch. I'm pretty hungry, so I want to rock and roll on sharing with you guys what I've been up to in my project baskets. So once again, as we've seen all year, we have squares, lots of squares, as this has been my travel project. Anytime we're in the car, we have granny squares, we have C to C. So the granny squares are with the size I hook, 10 round grannies. The corner to corner is I hook, 5.5 millimeter, 10 rows of that. So yeah, I still don't know how I'm going to start joining these. I don't know what joins I'm going to use. I might play with some different joins. I do like the continuous granny join that Hook by Robin has shared. Because she's got the option of the open granny join or the solid join. And her tutorial's excellent. So if you're looking for a good way to join your grannies, I would definitely check out Hooked by Robin. I will leave her tagged in the description box down below. But that's what I've been working on in the car. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 finished blocks. And I think I've got one almost done in my bag. So this is like 2 weeks, which, I mean, that's not really bad for 2 weeks. I've done a lot of navigating in the car, and I haven't had any like doctor's appointments or anything the last 2 weeks. So that's not too bad. Not too shabby for what I've been doing. Set that up and out of the way. My other finished object, I could share with you guys, but so part of what I've been trying to do is using up supplies, and I did want to share. I used up one entire small bag of polyfill. I also had one of those extra tall shopping bags from Michael's, literally completely full of polyfill, and I dipped into one of my boxes of polyfill, restuffing 4 pillows on my sofa. So I don't know when I opened them up, I thought I was going to find like nasty, yucky polyfill that needed to be tossed, or stuffing that needed to be tossed. But what had happened is it's like they put like quilting batting in there, and it was like rolled in on itself, and it was completely smooth, and it was just so weird. And I've only had these pillow forms in my pillows for like 3 months, 4 months. So I was a little surprised at how squished they had gotten, and how because we really need like the big puffy firm pillows because we lean on the sofa a lot, both of us do. So they started out at 44 ounces for all 4 pillows, and they ended up at 200 ounces, I think. So I've got the grams marked down. It's like 2,400 grams, I think, but of extra polyfill that I use. So this was 20 ounces. This filled 1 or 2 pillows, continuous stuffing, because I was able to just refluff that, and I just mixed in some extra polyfill just because they were a little on the scant side for us anyway. And they're going to get used so much, they're going to get squished again. But yeah, I ended up putting an extra, well, if they started out at 44, they ended up at 200. You can math that out. But yeah, they ended up, each one was about 24 ounces when I was done. So that took about 4 hours of my crafting time away from me over the last 2 weeks. It was very tedious, very exhausting, and very messy. I still have little bits of fiber that are stuck to my rug in the living room, which is just a little annoying. Banner is in my window, so if you hear my blinds start tapping the window, that would be why. Good grief. I wish there was something interesting that happened since I got back from the yarn show last week. Like, nothing's happened. I went to visit a friend. Like, I didn't make it out of town like I had planned, but I did go visit a friend of mine and the friend that I was going to go to see anyway. Next week, I may or may not. I don't think I will. It'll just depend on timing, but I may go back down there and see some more people. But I went to a tea shop, had a little scone, had a pot of tea, enjoyed the little shopping adventure across the store. They have some consignment things that were really kind of cute. Oh, found some more squares. We have 2 more corner to corners. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, editing Carrie's going to have to go run and take the picture, but this is all that's left. So when this is worked into squares, we can start joining these into blankets. And I think right now I have enough for maybe 6 blankets, but I'll count when I'm done. So up next, I have my finished diamond shawlette. I have not woven in the ends because I need to decide if I want to block this or not. But this is made using 3 hanks of the Lion brand Heaven, which is a 100% nylon yarn. And this is the colorway Fantasy. I really love the colors in this. I still want to do one that's chunky. And I have a couple of different yarns, I think, that would work for a chunky, more shawly shawl. A more wintry, snuggle-in shawl. But I do like this pattern. It's, you can see there's obviously a mistake in my stitching there. Let's see. It's right there. What? Nope, that's just an extra large stitch. Anyway, that's why you block things normally. But because of the way this hangs, the weight of the nylon actually drops. Might help if I drops the stitches out very nicely. They're not scrunched up like it was with the wool. This isn't really going to steam that much more open than it is. I might not. But this is worked on the bias just like the other one was, just like the pattern calls for. I really like it. I think it's very easy pattern to follow. I would say on your decrease side, when you work to the decrease side, put a stitch marker in that last stitch. That way you don't end up missing it, because I was not going to rip out 3 balls worth of it when I realized I had done that in 2 spots. But because it kind of hides in the fold. Like, it's not something that's very obvious. It hides in the peak anyway. But just throw a stitch marker in that stitch so you're not missing it and causing other issues. Now Banner's in my closet and he's climbing on top of it. I swear. They were asleep when I came down here. I got 3 phone calls once I came down here, so I know they just heard me talking and both of them came down here. Banner, come here. What you doing, Fluff? What you doing, Fluffkin? Hmm? Yeah, you being silly. He said, "I'm just silly boy. I such a silly baby." Yeah, so he's still only allowed in here when I'm in here. He has to leave with me, which will be easy because it's lunchtime for them too. So we're still on kitten feeding schedule, but we're down to 3 feedings. He feels like he's gained another pound, but part of that could just be he's a squidgy boy. Yeah, I squidgy. I squidge around. I think I hear Daddy upstairs. You can go see Daddy. Go see your daddy. He's looking at the ceiling. So the last finished thing I have is my Hugely shawl. And this did turn out quite huge. Now I did add some rows to the bottom down here just to use up the Trendsetter yarn. But this was done using like 1 1/4 skeins of Huga Charm and 6 balls of Trendsetter Montage. I hope you see like how that turned out as far as the stitch work goes. I love this pattern, but it is quite huge. I obviously have not blocked this one out either. So it goes to my knees as a shawl. It's just a wraparound shawl. It is down to my knees. So this is, once again, another plush, oversized shawl. Once again, I'm not a tiny girl. I'm on the huskier side, so, you know, getting it around me twice. And that's the tight edge. So, yeah, it's huge. It is, it does not lie about its name. So if you want one of these that is not quite as large, it won't be quite as deep either, but you could easily size this pattern down to a worsted weight or DK weight. This was worked on a size 13 knitting needle, so that's quite large. Once again, because the trendsetter yarn, I don't think I'm going to block this. It is quite heavy, so it is holding its, especially since I added the garter stitches at the bottom, the garter stitch rows at the bottom. I really need a haircut. It's holding itself out quite nicely. I might kind of pump some steam across the top just to make sure it doesn't curl on that edge. But it is a half moon design. Like I said, if you don't want it to be, I mean, I'm 5.5 feet in wingspan, and we still have another 1.5 feet, 2 feet hanging off my fingers. So 7-foot scarf, basically. Go down to a worsted weight. Worsted weight or a DK weight. Play with the size. See where your gauge is. It's very easy to continue the stitches too. So if you need to add more, the pattern easily can be extended if you just want to play. It's styled in the pictures as a scarf or a shawl, and I keep laughing going, yeah, that for our winters down here might be a bit much as a scarf, but it'll still work as a shawl. I like the way this turned out. I like the texture. I liked holding the two yarns together. So we've got that hit of glitz as well as the pop of color. Because once again, I can't seem to do anything boring. So I did bring down my primary WIP I have been focusing on. I do still have my pickle jar scarf by the sofa that I probably ought to be working on. That hasn't been happening. And I do have my Advent shawl that I never finished. So maybe I'll go back and finish that too. I did the socks. I finished the socks. And I got kind of disenfranchised a little bit when we never got all of our patterns for last year. So I do still have my shawl sitting there that needs to be finished. I think I've only got like 16 rows left on that to do, maybe. But anyway, so there are a couple different patterns for one of these out there. This is the first time I've done one. But this is a log cabin shawl. This is my working edge. This is the color I'm working on right now. So I'm coming in for past 3 of colors. It calls for 4, but I think I'll have enough to do 5, maybe 6. Probably only 5, because I think I'll run out of the gold if I don't. This is using the Wool Select that I told you guys I was going to do a comparative review with the woolies. I still need to order a couple new skeins of woolies to see what the new woolies is like. But this is the Premier Wool Select. If you're interested in this, it is working up really, really nicely. I have not done a wash test with this at all. But if you are interested, I do have an affiliate link in the description box. But I am enjoying working with this. It's very, very smooth working. The yarn is very round and very tightly spun. So it moves through the fingers really nicely. This is a size 3 hand wash, lay flat cold. 6/6 75% acrylic, 25% wool. It's 237 yards, 250 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. Easy Care wool one. And this is once again also an Okiotech Tex yarn. Wiko! So it's very soft. It's working very nice. Like, I'm enjoying it overall. I really wish I'd put the gold in where I have the white. Oops, that's on my ends. And done white where I have the gold. I wish I'd alternated those colors just a little bit. There was a loud boom upstairs. I don't know what that was. I don't hear anybody screaming, so. Very easy to work up. Like I said, there are lots of different patterns out there for these types of shawls. Just look up log cabin shawl, knitted log cabin shawl, and that's what you'll find. Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got for you guys today. It's very quiet, easy peasy lemon squeezy, nothing exciting going on. I don't have any exciting plans for the next week or two to tantalize you guys with. I'm still working on obviously this review, as well as the review of the boy hook. I'm trying to get footage of my hands, and it's been a little difficult. The house has not been quiet very often, so I need to finish cleaning that corner out so I can drop the table down, put a chair back here, and film. But that hasn't happened yet. There hasn't been time. So I am working on that. I have thoughts and feelings about it. I have opinions on it. There are a couple things I want to show you with it, but maybe tomorrow I'll have time. I don't need to film that much. Maybe tomorrow I'll have time. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. I'm going to head out of here. I just wanted to share what I had real quick. If there's anything else interesting, I will pop it in at the end of this video. Now I'm getting the ADD's coming out. I'm getting super distracted because, anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you real soon. I just dropped my clicker, so we're going to do the zoom in with the finger, and I'll see y'all soon.